beginning, the baby was born. God chose Mary to be the mother of God. Listen carefully. Listen to these words. God chose Mary to be the mother of God, and the Word was born a wordless child. When the baby looked up into the face of the Mother Mary, he already saw the cross. When he looked into the face of the Father Joseph, the cross was there too. The Mother Mary and the Father Joseph held the baby close. They kept the baby warm. They gave the baby everything he needed, and the baby began to grow. Now, I wonder if there's anything in this room that you can bring and put aside this picture to help us tell more about this part of the story. Look around and see.
The baby grew and became a boy. When he was about 12 years old, he went with Mother Mary and Father Joseph with many other people from their village of Nazareth to the great city of Jerusalem to keep one of the high holy days. When the celebration was over, the people from Nazareth started on the road back home. Suddenly, Mary and Joseph discovered that Jesus was not there. They thought they had been playing with the other children from their village as they walked together. They hurried back into Jerusalem to find him. Mary and Joseph looked in the dark, narrow streets. They looked in the marketplace where they had bought their food. They looked everywhere they had spent the night. They looked everywhere for 3 days and 3 nights. Finally, they looked in the temple, and there he was, talking to the priests of the temple. When he spoke, they listened, because he knew so much. When they spoke, he listened, because he wanted to learn more. Mary and Joseph then asked Jesus the question all parents ask their children, the question no one could answer: why did you do this? And Jesus said something very strange. He said, "Didn't you know that I would be in my Father's house?" Mary and Joseph did not understand. Their house was in Nazareth, where Joseph's carpenter shop was. They did not understand. They did not forget.
So today's book is a long one, and that's why it's separate from our Godly Play story. And it's written by Madeleine L'Engle, who wrote some wonderful books. And this one's called The Glorious Impossible. And it's illustrated with frescoes from the Scrovogni Chapel by Giotto. You might recognize some of them from the Godly Play story, The Mystery of Christmas. And in fact, that's where this story starts. The Nativity. And so he was born, this gloriously impossible baby, in a stable in Bethlehem. And Mary and Joseph had to leave home because of the general census ordered by Rome. And so Joseph took his young pregnant wife to register in Bethlehem because he was of the house of David. And little Bethlehem was crowded, overcrowded with people coming to register. There was no room in the inn, no place for Joseph to take Mary, whose labor was beginning. How terrifying for Mary to be racked with pain, while Joseph tried helplessly to find some place for them to stay. Finally, they were guided to a cave where animals were lodged, and there Mary gave birth to the infant Jesus, surrounded by lowing cattle, by donkeys and oxen. Exhausted, but filled with joy, she laid him in a manger. Nearby, some shepherds were out in a field with their flocks when suddenly an angel of the Lord appeared before them, and the glory of the Lord shone brilliantly all around them, and they were terrified. "Fear not," the angel cried, and told them of the birth of the child, who would bring joy to all people. And they were told that they would find this holy child wrapped in linen cloths and lying in a manger. And suddenly the angel was surrounded by a host of heavenly angels singing in a mighty chorus to the glory of God. And when the angels left and the shepherds were able to speak, they hurried to Bethlehem And they found Mary and Joseph just as the angel had said, and the baby lying in a manger. And they told Mary and Joseph about the angels. And Mary listened and treasured their words. Gently, the shepherds placed simple gifts: a lamb, a woolen wrap, a ball by the baby. And then Mary and Joseph were left alone with the child, marveling. Holding the child in their arms, rocking, singing, Mary wondered what was going to happen to him, this sweet, innocent creature who had been conceived by the incredible love of God and who had been born, as all human babies are born. God, come to be one us. Jesus among the doctors. What is eternity? Who was God's mother? How many stars are there? Do numbers ever come to an end? Why is there war? How do you know if you're in love? What is gravity? Children are full of questions. Wonderful questions, unanswerable questions. Jesus too. And where better to ask questions than in the temple, where there are the learned doctors and the elders who spent their entire lives in the study of the holy Jewish law. Jesus was as curious as any bright 12-year-old child. And so when the family made their annual pilgrimage to Jerusalem, he went to the temple, where he astonished the teachers with his questions and also with his answers. And there at last his frantic parents found him. Was he really gone the 3 days, as the Bible tells us? Or was it 3 hours? It really doesn't matter. What matters is that Jesus was an eager questioner, alert, ready to learn. He didn't notice time passing, or realize that his parents might be worried. Already, he was about his Father's business. And that business, he was to learn, was not the law expounded in the temple. That business was not law. And let's close with a prayer. All is well. All is well. The leaves of grass are growing. All is well. The leaves of flowers are showing. All is well. The leaves of trees are blowing. All is well. God's springtime love is showing. I hope you get to enjoy a wonderful springtime week this week. I know I have enjoyed this lovely day.